So if you're watching this, you probably want to make an extra $3,172 odd per month from your phone. Now, I'm not promising that by watching this video, your phone is suddenly going to start spitting cash at you with no rhyme or reason, no. But my name is James. I'm the founder of Ecom Boss Mentoring. I've helped over 1,000 students get started selling products online and making an income online. And in this video, I'm going to share with you an overview of the simplest, easiest, and in my opinion, most enjoyable way to get started making money online, even if you have limited time, limited experience, and limited capital. And let's start with this. The fastest way to make an income online is to sell products to people who want them online. And that's what e-commerce is in its traditional sense. If you've heard about e-commerce or dropshipping before, you kind of know what we're talking about. People are online shopping every single day, spending billions of dollars buying stuff that they arguably do or don't need, depends on how you look at it. And there is somebody on the other end of that transaction selling the product, getting paid for it each and every time. And so what we teach is how to be the person, instead of being the person who buys everything, you can do that too, be the person who's selling things, making the profit, getting the income, the person on the other end of that transaction. Look at Jeff Bezos. What is he doing? He's the guy on the other end of the transaction. He sells products online. That's what Amazon is. And that's what we're doing here. But we're doing it in a very unique and specific way. If you're a beginner and you want to just get started making some money online from your phone or your laptop, and you don't want to build a big store and build a big brand and spend $10,000 plus on ads, well, then you need a different way to do it. And so here inside of our Ecom Boss Mentoring program, one of the very first things we teach our students is something called organic dropshipping. And we've done this for a couple of years to some of the most insane results that people online have ever seen. And the reason why it's effective is for two reasons. Number one, we use free apps that are already on your phone to sell through. Instead of building a Shopify store, spending a bunch of money on ads, trying to get people to your store, we use free apps that are already on your phone that the customer already has on their phone, which they're shopping on every single day. No money down, no expenses. Use these platforms to make sales. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And the second thing is, it's actually fun. One of the biggest things that people kind of don't think about is that when you're a beginner and you're starting out and you just want to get some quick wins, some money in the door, when you're expected to build a Shopify store and run ads and build email automations and do all this complicated stuff, it's not fun. It's complicated, it's frustrating, and if it's not enjoyable for you, well, chances are you're not going to finish it through to the end, which is why a lot of people drop off in the process. So firstly, this is free, so you don't have to spend any money to do it. But secondly, this is actually a fun process because it's quick, you can do it anywhere in the world, and it takes almost no time in the first place. And so here's how it works. The apps that we use to sell products online from our phone, from our laptop, and make income without spending any money on marketing or advertising or software, the apps that we use are Facebook Marketplace, which is already on the Facebook app, eBay, and lastly, Etsy. Shopping apps that you're familiar with, your mother's familiar with, your friends are familiar with, your dog's probably familiar with. They're apps that we use every single day to buy things online. And so what we do is we show you how to sell products on these platforms to ensure that people buy them and people buy them in large numbers. So here's how it works. The first thing is knowing what to sell and what constitutes a hot product, a product that people will actually buy. Remember, people are scrolling through these apps, they're looking for something to buy. We're dopamine addicted, we love to impulse buy stuff, it makes us feel good. So they're scrolling through and they're looking to buy products. And so your job is to be able to get really good at finding products that will stop their scroll, make them go, oh, I want this, and click on the damn thing. That's the first thing you need to get good at. You need to know how to find hot products. Now, there's a bunch of different things that we do, but off the rip, some free game that will get you started. The two biggest things that we look for in a product before we test it on a platform like Marketplace, eBay, Etsy. Number one is it solves a problem. Meaning, if the product actually helps them solve a problem or a pain point that they have at the moment, well then there's a reason for them to buy it. So think for example about a teeth whitening kit. It solves a problem. It solves the problem of having yellow teeth and the insecurities that come with it, but it also solves the problem that it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the expensive fees that are charged at professional whitening clinics. So if you can put a product like that, it solves a problem for them and they're gonna wanna buy it. So if the product can solve a problem like a teeth whitening kit, like something for your car, like something for your house, things that solve a problem, it will usually do well if it's novel enough and if it's interesting enough. But on the flip side, the other criteria is that it's eye-catching. And the interesting thing is that these both don't have to be there. So for example, we've had clients that make so much money inside of the program using this system by selling products that don't solve problems at all. They're actually quite silly. In fact, one of my students did $5 grand profit in her first month. And you know what she was selling? She was selling golden teaspoons on Etsy. Didn't solve a problem. The person buying them probably really had teaspoons at home, but they had a really cool finish to them and they sold like crazy. One of my other clients absolutely cleaned up with a headphone stand that sat on a gamer's desk near their PC. They would hold up their headphones, but the character was shaped in the shape of an anime character as he held up the headphones. Now, does it really solve a problem? No, because you can put your headphones down. But was it novel? Was it eye-catching? Was it something that made people go, oh, I want that? Yes. And so there's two criteria we're looking for. It solves a problem, or it has eye-catching, wow factor, it's novel, makes them go, oh, I want this, drives an impulse buy. So you want to look for products that fit one or two or both of these criteria. As you get good at finding these, it almost becomes impossible to not spot them again. The next thing you need to know how to do is how to make an eye-catching listing. Now, as I said, it is free to make listings on these platforms. Facebook Marketplace, free. eBay, free. Etsy charges about 20 cents a listing, so they're the more expensive one, but even then, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than spending 10 grand on ads, trust me. So once you've got some products that you want to test, remember it costs you nothing or next to nothing to test them, the next thing you need to do is list them on the platforms. Now, we have entire structures, scripts, formulas, AI tools that make this almost instantaneous and correct every single time, but some of the most important principles for you to understand about making a listing that will get the eyes, get the click, and eventually get the purchase is going to be eye-catching photos. Don't take photos from AliExpress with Chinese writing all over them and expect people to go, yeah, I want that. No. Make sure your photos are clean, they're professional. If you need to edit out text and do whatever you need to do there, go for it. But make sure the photos stand out, they show the product in its best light, they show the product solving the problem that it solves, or if it's a novel, eye-catching product, make sure that's on display, make sure that's extremely clear. With the title, don't make it a 40-word title, make it 2-3 words. Give the product a good name, give it a cool branded name, have some fun with it. Put the outcome that it gives them, put the problem that it solves in the title. Have some fun with the title to make sure that when people read it, they get it and it sounds cool. And in the description, make sure that it's short, it's concise, it goes through the benefits, it makes clear why they would want to buy it in the first place, and then leaves a call to action to go and buy it on the product page or through Marketplace, wherever it is you're selling. You can have a good product, but if the listing looks like crap, no one's gonna buy it. And once you're at a point where you've got a bunch of products that you know fit this criteria and you've put together a bunch of listings, because we know it costs next to nothing to get these products out there and in front of customers that are already shopping on these platforms, all you need to do is pump them out, pump them out, pump them out. 3, 4, 5 a day, just put them onto the platform, have fun while you're watching Netflix, while you're watching TV, while you're cooking your dinner, put a few up. And what will happen is, if you're consistent, it happens very quickly. People start to notice, people start to click, and then people start to buy. It's inevitable. As long as you do it correctly, if you need help, let us know. If you're doing it correctly, you will get clicks and you will make sales. Well, what do we do once we've made a sale? Well, we follow basic dropshipping protocol. Before you got the product listed on the platform, you would have found a supplier on a platform like AliExpress who can get the product for you for cheap, wholesale rates, so that once the customer pays you for the product, you can take a small amount of the money they paid you, give it to the supplier, and they'll ship the product directly to the customer while you pocket the profit. So for example, if the supplier charges $20 for that teeth whitening kit and you charge $100 as the sale price, you would get paid $100, you would give $20 to the supplier at AliExpress, they would ship the product out for you, then you pocket the $80 in profit. So as sales come in, you pass the order through the supplier, take the profit, and you win and you profit every single time because we're not having to spend money on stores, money on ads or anything. It's just you finding good products, making banger listings, and making sales. Now, for a lot of our clients in the Ecom Boss program, they spend about an hour per day on this. They have AI tools that bring down a lot of the workload. They have templates, they have SOPs, they have training, they have coaching to ensure that they are hitting the best products off the rip. All they need is about an hour per day. So if you're willing to match that and just follow this basic formula and just put in the time, there's no real reason why you can't get sales and results as well. And from what I've seen, talking to so many different students who are getting started online, everyone talks about these big goals of making 100 grand a month and getting Ferraris and Lambos and going to Dubai and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, the majority of people, maybe yourself included, just want an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 grand per month that's just coming in on the side through some online business. So you can spend time with family, go out on a couple extra date nights, do an extra holiday once or twice a year. Whatever it is for you, this is a great place to start. Simple model, doesn't require any money up front to get started. And then once you're making money, if you want to scale up and build a big store and a big brand and hit those big numbers, you can do that too. But if you're a beginner and you want to get started making some money fast, this is the best way I've ever seen to do it. That's how to make an extra 3 grand or so per month online using nothing but your computer and your phone, and it is a hell of a lot of fun.